Well, it looks like Ubisoft is having an absolutely terrible year, and I am so glad. They were doing terribly on the stock market. Assassin's Creed Shadows, their biggest game, got delayed because of all the controversy. Nobody wants a black samurai in an Assassin's Creed game in Japan. It's for pandering purposes. Don't try to gaslight all the retards that want to gaslight and attack people. They had an easy way to make money with that game. Give us a Japanese male protagonist and that's it. I don't want like the two protagonist system. That's stupid. Just make a character with a story. The only reason they doing a dual protagonist in that game is to make a woman playable. But anyway, what am I talking about now? Apparently, a lot of their employees are going on strike, just at the worst time too. Star Wars Outlaws didn't do that well. It sold poorly, sold 1 million copies in like a month, which is not great for that game and not what Ubisoft wanted because they spend so much in marketing on that game. They haven't celebrated the amount of copies sold because they know it's terrible. If it was good, they will tell you about it. And now your employees don't even want to work. It's not going to end well for you, Ubisoft, and I'm glad. You make nothing but buggy, busted, broken slop. You are the worst of the worst when it comes to people in this industry. You have not made a good game in over a decade. You are garbage, you are trash. And I have an article to look at from that Park Place, and it says, report, 700 Ubisoft employees strike company in response to return to office requirements believed to be an attempt to force resignation. If you have to go to the office and you don't live far, I don't see what's the problem with you going to the office. I think remote work is a good thing. I heard it boosts productivity. You can stay in the comfort of your own home. You don't have to worry about traveling. And if you live in a big city, traveling is annoying. Whether you're using a bus, the buses can be extremely crowded, or you're just driving. Traffic is extremely annoying in the morning when everybody's going to work. But because this is Ubisoft, I don't feel bad for you people because clearly you have no talent. So I'm questioning why you even have the job in the first place, knowing that you've been putting out buggy shit and garbage and trash for the longest fucking time. So I don't have sympathy for this company at all. The last good Far Cry game was Far Cry 4. You haven't touched Rayman in a long time. You haven't released Beyond Good and Evil 2. You haven't released a new Splinter Cell in a long time. You are a disgrace, so I don't care if you people get fired. If this was an attempt to force resignations, maybe they're getting what they want. They can easily just fire you all and just hire new employees, but we'll see. Let's continue reading the article. Around 700 Ubisoft employees at its French studios have reportedly gone on strike in response to the company's requiring to begin working at the office as opposed to work from home. Back in September, the French video game union Syndicate devs, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that French name, called for Ubisoft employees to strike on October 15th, 16th, and 17th after the company demanded employees begin working in the company's offices for 3 days per week for all employees. So that's not that bad. Is it annoying that you have to do 3 days per week? A little bit, but at least it's not 5. Most people don't even have the option to work from home. You get the hybrid option, 2 days at home, 3 days in the office. Would it be more desirable to do all work from home? Yeah, especially in the tech industry. But if your boss says get off your fat fucking ass, get your ass in the office 3 days per week, deal with it. Do you people have jobs, other jobs lined up? So it's like, what are you going on strike for? Are your bills paid? Do you have savings? Like, this is so stupid to me. But whatever, let's just continue reading the article. The union also shared that it believes Ubisoft made this more given it knows the consequences of its decision will be the loss of our colleagues' jobs, the disorganization of many game projects, and a drastic increase in psychosocial risk for those who remain. Furthermore, it noted, this decision is announced immediately after the failure of the profit share negotiations, exactly like previous salary negotiations. Management proposals were unacceptable, the negotiations timetable was appalling, and management was deaf to the proposals of the various employees' representatives. Given the union stated, to express our anger, we call all Ubisoft employees in France to take a first strike on October 15th, 16th, and 17th. This is why I fucking hate the unions. They always do stupid shit like this. Why even bother hiring these people? And it's not even good from the employee side of things because they limit the amount of money you can make. So you can't really get a promotion or negotiate your salary because it's already set in stone. So not only are they annoying for the employees, they can just go on strike and fuck up your whole company at any moment. This is so retarded and unnecessary. Unions are not a good thing. I've never heard anything good about this concept of a union. I will never recommend this. I'm not a businessman, okay? But based off everything I've heard about unions and how fucking retarded and annoying they are, I personally want to recommend them. But you do what you want with your companies. But anyway, let's continue reading. It also shared its demands. First, it wants a formal agreement on remote work with due process of real negotiation between management and unions, not an arbitrary decision taken several months in advance advance. One which guarantees that each person can freely choose its number of remote days and when they are in the week, as well as being counted by the month and not by the week. Second, the union demand an immediate increase in all salaries to compensate for the drop in our living standards in recent years, the restoration of the profit sharing at a 60% objective, the end of gender pay gap and high increase in low salaries. Shut the fuck up, there's no such thing as a gender pay gap. Now mind you, I'm not in France. Maybe there is, but I just have a feeling it's not. This fake idea of a gender pay gap. Men work more and men work jobs that pay more. There's no discrimination between hiring practice. I was about to say there's no discrimination in hiring practices, but then women are getting handouts through DEI mandates and sucking dick. That's modern society for you, but whatever, you get the idea. The whole concept of gender pay gap was always retarded because there's no law that says you can pay men more than women. Men just so happen to get paid more because they have more experience. It has nothing to do with gender. That was always such a retarded thing that feminists were saying. They still saying that in France? Again, I don't know the French law. I would assume not, because the French are fucking gay as hell. So that's just my guess. So they can just fuck off with that nonsense, but let's continue reading. And finally, it wants Ubisoft to listen to employees' opinions by the implementation of social dialogue worthy of the name. Management seems indeed to confuse monologue with dialogue. I don't know what the fuck does that even mean. I don't know what that's referring to. Is that in-game? Whatever, I'll continue. Reportedly, around 700 employees did go on strike in France, according to that outlet, Le Monde. I don't speak French, I don't care. The outlet noted AFP saw around 50 people on the picket line in Montpellier and more than 100 in Paris, with Ubisoft offices in Annecy and Lyon also affected. The STJV union said more than 700 were taking part. Yeah, this fucking article goes on forever and ever 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 and ever. I'll just get to like the financial stuff. The strikes come amid Ubisoft finding itself in dire financial straits. Back in September, the company significantly lowered its Q2 net booking from 500 million euros to between 350 and 370 million euros, a decline of 30%. Furthermore, the company also stated the company now expects net bookings of around 1.95 billion and around break even 9 IFRS, don't know what that means, operating income and free cash flow for the fiscal year. Yeah, they're declining. Jesus fucking Christ. Articles just talking. They never shut the fuck up in articles. I just prefer to read tweets and videos. Jesus Christ. That article wasn't even halfway done, by the way, but I'm not gonna, it's whatever. It's just gonna go through a whole history and the whole year of all the shit, all the garbage, all the controversies, Assassin's Creed Outlaws, and how that game got delayed. They were afraid the game was gonna flop, and it still is gonna flop. I don't see why it would get any better. They delayed it to February, if you haven't heard. Maybe they think that delaying the game is gonna cause people to forget about the controversy. It's not. You still have the same main character that is the main controversy. Star Wars Outlaws was a huge failure for the company as well. That game didn't do well. If it did, you will be talking about it. And that game was busted and broken at launch. And now you have to deal with your employees going on strike. I am so glad to see this company fall apart. Nothing but garbage after garbage after garbage after garbage. You are a disgrace. You are the company that unironically came up with the term quadruple A gaming. They said that about the Skull and Bones games. That game is already dead. What the fuck is quadruple A gaming? Is that just an excuse to charge people more money? Oh, you're gonna pay $70 plus a $70 season pass. I'm just making up shit. I don't know what the season pass is or the microtransactions, the monetization of that game. I don't care. I didn't play it. But what the fuck is quadruple A gaming? You are a fucking disgrace. You are the lowest of the low. I hate AAA gaming, and you are the worst. You are worse than fucking EA at this point. I don't even know what the fuck EA even does anymore, other than like Madden. I can't even think of anything. And a lot of people don't even talk about EA as often as they do with other companies. But you, Ubisoft, everybody's gonna be celebrating when you go broke, when you go bankrupt, because it was so avoidable. I don't know why people even buy your games knowing they don't even work. People's save files are being deleted in Star Wars Outlaws. Like, that is just ridiculous. Who wants to play a game after your save file gets wiped? That's stupid. That's unacceptable. And you got away with a lot for so long, and now it's coming back to haunt you. Failure after failure, and now employees going on strike. I wish the worst for this company. Nothing but garbage, and treating gamers like garbage by selling broken products. And I don't have much else to say. I don't want to keep repeating myself. So Ubisoft, go fuck yourself.